What?
Guess what, guys? We finally saw Hamilton.
What? No, you gotta make them guess. Don't you
You
gotta
gotta make some guess?
Yeah. Like, guess where we just went?
Guess. Kind of gives it away.
It might not. I mean, they might not know what A.Ham is. We saw Hamilton finally.
Yay!
We bought tickets in what?
September.
It's now April.
The end of April.
We waited for that.
But it was worth it. Seeing it in Chicago's run is extended. It's not like seeing it on Broadway, but so much of it is the same. A lot of the set is the same.
It was. If you have the chance, go see Hamilton. If you haven't heard Hamilton, it's on Spotify. Go listen to it.
For sure.
Yes.
This was our second musical seeing together, and as people overall, we saw Matilda last year.
We did.
Which was amazing. It was a childhood favorite of mine. Loved it very much. And so we were really happy to see Hamilton together. Obviously, we got merch. Yeah. If you don't know, real quick, Hamilton is Hamilton, an American musical by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I like that you said colon.
And it's the story of our founding father of the United States, Alexander Hamilton, who, fun fact, is on the $10 bill, even funner fact, was not a president. But to get back on track, we saw Hamilton just yesterday, a matinee. Yes. It was amazing.
It was. My supervisor that saw it said it changed his life. I don't know how it changed his life, but it was a great show.
Yeah, super believable.
The best part about the production is that it's mainly a minority cast. Lin-Manuel, who wrote it, he was originally playing Hamilton, but I don't believe he performed in Chicago.
No, he has a couple performances that they're surprise performances, which he might have already done in April, or maybe then later on.
I would like to see him do it. Like, the guy they had, he was good.
Yeah, he was great. He was great as Alexander Hamilton. So in the original, the composer, lyricist, the creator of Hamilton plays the main lead as Alexander Hamilton. He's Latino, and so it's really cool. And so listening to the recording, I found myself trying really hard to imagine what this was like with the actual people. And also, they didn't have what I would consider to be ethnic voices. So I was trying to imagine these things happening between white people. And that was very difficult for me, especially seeing, women of color, men of color portraying these main characters that I know for a fact were of European descent was very difficult, but nice, because that doesn't happen a lot.
But now, every time I think of Alexander Hamilton, I have such a hard time picturing a white male. And I believe at some odd point in the future, 30, 40 years out, when you ask kids, like, who's Alexander Hamilton? They're going to be like, he's that Latino guy that came to Broadway. And to be fair, if our child says that, I might not correct them. I'll be like, you know what? Yes, the founding father was Latino. Change history all you like. Muddy it up. I don't care. It's going to be hella interesting to see. The show. I want to talk about one of my favorite scenes. And one of the songs remind me of the Schuyler sister's name.
Angelica?
That he doesn't marry. Angelica Schuyler is a sister that falls in love with Alexander Hamilton, but she doesn't marry him. And while she's giving her speech at the wedding, as maid of honor, she rewinds back to her earlier point in the story where she had a chance to have Alexander instead of introducing him to her sister. And in my mind, it's like, they rewind it, and I couldn't picture how it would play out on the stage. And they did it so well. Yeah. They literally, everybody, they danced around back into their starting spots. And they did the last song, which was Alexander Hamilton meeting his wife. Remind me of her name. The Schuyler sister.
You're talking too much. Eliza.
I
have a whole song where they just say their name.
I know, and I couldn't think of it right now. Angelica,
Eliza,
and Peggy. Poor Peggy.
She was fine in her life.
She was. But either way, they went back to their starting points for that section of the song, and everybody went through the same movements again, and there was more emphasis on Angelica this time, and it kind of played out about what she was thinking in that moment of time. And it was like, oh, this is so cool. It's like, I remember seeing them do that earlier. Oh, they did that like 5 minutes ago, and now they're doing it again in the same way. And, oh, wait, look, she's doing something different this time, because now you can see her thinking about it all. I was like, oh, it's happening. It was like, I was overwhelmed.
It was amazing. That's amazing. The whole set, the stage direction, all that is great. And the cool thing about the rewind scene is that it's a circular spinning stage in the center. So part of it is that they spin in and out when they're walking and following each other, which is really cool. And the rewind scene was one when I first heard Hamilton, the original Broadway cast recording. I was like, how do they do this? What does this look like? This looked like a wedding. But actually, one of my favorite scenes to see was with the King of England. Because those are just the funniest little songs in the whole thing. Because he is just such a mean old former lover, or even more than a former lover. He's more like your dad when you move out and then you kind of live your own life and are like, well, Dad, you taught me well. I don't need you anymore. I want to do my own thing. And he's like, excuse me, I gave you life, and except worse because he threatens to kill everyone,
your whole family,
and to remind you of my love. And the guy commands the stage alone for the most part during those scenes, and it's just very funny. Yes. And it's particularly interesting to me as a person who cannot sing well to hear someone be funny while singing, and not in a comedy scenario where someone's doing stand-up and then singing along certain parts. Mm-hmm. The reverse is very interesting and very cool. So I really enjoyed the scene ones with the King. I did call it my favorite, but I'm not sure that was. I love so much of it, though.
I like to point out another character who was the comic relief was, oh my God, why can I not get names right now?
You're talking about Lafayette and Jefferson?
Yeah, really all I learned about, I almost called him Andrew again. Alexander Hamilton. Everything I learned about him was from this Broadway musical. So
okay, hold on, pause. Are you sure that you never learned about him?
Yes. The actor that played him was fantastic. He was hilarious. Okay. And then after Lafayette left for France, they brought him back as another character, Thomas Jefferson, who is just the snarkiest man in the song. And now all I can picture is Thomas Jefferson being a smartass through everything in life. Which, I don't know, it sounds...
Okay, so pause again. One of your teachers in elementary school never showed you the 1776 movie about the Founding Fathers and the creation of the Declaration of Independence and Thomas Jefferson writing that? It's a very whitewashed glorification of Thomas Jefferson that doesn't cover, or maybe in part covers, it's from the 90s, I think, of, Sally Hemings? The slave that he had a whole family with. You never saw any of that? I mean, most teachers at least show you movies. Okay, you can stop taking that now. So you never knew that Alexander Hamilton, you knew it was on the $2 bill at some point, I'm sure.
I mean,
you saw Hamilton written on it.
Yeah, you can read his name on the dollar.
But you'd never heard about him in the Treasury.
Nope.
Him in the Federalist Papers.
Nope.
Him not being a U.S. citizen.
Nope. Oh, thanks.
Being an immigrant. I didn't know that immigrant part. I didn't know that. One thing that I did learn from this is that back in the day, whoever became president, the person that lost to them would just be vice president. And I had known that.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. I think it would, because it would force people to work together.
I think that that's a good point. However, the reason why Aaron Burr got so offended was that why Jefferson made that rule is because Aaron Burr campaigned actively against him. And it made Jefferson mad. You're not going to be my vice president when you actively campaign and go door to door against me. Which, if you think about
I don't know what he expected. He's trying to get voted in.
In the musical and in history, apparently, Aaron Burr is known as a villain, and that's how he's known. However, for someone like you that doesn't know anything about Alexander Hamilton or doesn't remember learning him in school or didn't, I don't understand how he's one of the biggest villains in political history when people don't know enough about the good person in the story.
I'm sorry. The biggest villain in history is Hitler?
Said one of.
Oh, one of? I didn't hear that.
Alexander Hamilton. Read about him. I think we should start a book club and a married couple book club, And by that, I just mean like us, but we can get other people involved and read the book together.
There's a book?
Yes. Co-written by Lin-Manuel Miranda, because you have to research. You can't just pull this out of your butt. You have to research.
Well, of course not. And I figured the research that had to go in this must have been intense. I've never heard of the Reynolds Papers. Have you read that ish?
That's crazy because people kept diaries and logs like none other back in the day, and he was writing like he was running out of time. So it makes sense that
and no one understood how he did it. Why was he always writing like he's running out of time?
Alexander, why are you writing like you're running out of time? But also, he had a great wife who he did wrong to, but she was a great woman because she saved all his work and continued his legacy. And it's really a big part of the reason why she was able to keep his name and legacy alive. Behind an Alexander Hamilton is always an Eliza Schuyler Hamilton, who is doing just as much, if not more work.
Ooh,
always.
I like that.
Behind every great man is always a great
strong
person.
Black woman.
Doing the work for him and getting no credit.
Exactly. So go edit this video and shut the...
This video will never make it to YouTube if I have to edit it.
Okay. Well, we just wanted to share that with you guys.
We had a great time. It
was
amazing. Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening. Tell us what you think about Hamilton, or maybe your favorite musical. Did you like Matilda? Do you like historical fiction? Did you know who Alexander Hamilton was before this took over the airwaves? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, support, follow us on Instagram at HowardWeDo.
Yes.
Hope to see you next time. Check us out next Friday. Thanks.
Top 10 list. Top 10 villains in world history.
Scar.